Holy crap, what a beautiful morning. Hey, good morning everybody. So today is June 28th. It's a Thursday, I believe. No, it's a Wednesday. Getting my dates mixed up. And it is an absolutely spectacular morning for taking a ride here in southern Connecticut. Blue skies, cool temps for June. This is nuts. It's absolutely beautiful. Mid, maybe upper 60s, not quite 70 yet. Just about 10 a.m. Absolutely no humidity whatsoever. It's bone dry. And I believe there's even a slight wind coming out of the north, which is bringing in even cooler air. Unbelievable. What a beautiful, beautiful day. I want to talk a little bit about the bike this morning. A little surprise I had the other day. Let's negotiate this car first, this traffic. Let these guys clear out a bit. I got someone right behind me right now too, wanting to get around me. Yeah, for those of you who have followed my channel or have seen some of my other videos before, you know that I ride a Vilano Shadow, which is a very inexpensive entry-level road bike that I purchased online. And over the course of the last year or so, I made several upgrades to it. Put on a Bontrager carbon fiber fork to make the bike a little bit lighter, and to add to my comfort on the bike, I thought carbon fiber fork might help to absorb some road vibrations, and it has. It worked out well. But the thing I wanted to talk about this morning is that I'm pretty much one of those guys that really kind of takes care of his bike and things in general that I own. So I was quite surprised the other day when I went out for a ride, and out of nowhere I was getting this horrible noise out of the drivetrain when I was pedaling. And maybe about 2 weeks ago, I also had a noise coming out of one of the crank arms as I was pedaling, and found out and determined that was nothing more than a bolt that was holding the crank arm on. Needed to be tightened down somewhat. Took care of that, and off and running, not a problem. But this noise that occurred, I mean, I was actually kind of, I had a sinking feeling in my stomach that perhaps after nearly 10,000 miles, maybe I finally blew a bearing out, and it seemed like for sure this time it was the bottom bracket. But naturally I was very concerned that something was definitely very wrong. So anyway, I theorized one of two possibilities. Either in fact it was the bottom bracket, because it occurred when I put force into the pedals, and it occurred regardless of what pedal I was putting force into. In other words, the last time I had a noise coming out of my pedaling, it was out of the left pedal and left pedal only. So my thinking is, okay, it's got to be either a bearing in the bottom bracket, or is it possibly the chain itself? And I was naturally hoping that it was the chain, because that's an easy fix, but concerned that it was the bottom bracket. And being the kind of personality that I am, I think I focused on worst case scenario. It's going to be a bottom bracket. Oh my God, where am I going to get a bottom bracket for this bike? Bought it online. It's not a Trek or Specialized. There's some brand name that I can go into my local bike shop and say, hey, need a new bottom bracket. Like I said earlier, I'm one of those guys that really takes care of my bike, which means I put on a new chain on the bike every 1,000, 1,500 miles. Keep my chain clean and lubed and all that sort of thing. So I was very much surprised to find out, in fact, it was my chain that making the noise. And as long as I've been riding this bike, like I said, about 9,500, 10,000 miles now, I've never, regardless of how long I let a chain go without cleaning, have come across a noise like that. I didn't think chains could make that kind of noise unless you left your bike sitting for maybe a couple years or so and it rusted over almost completely. So anyway, one of the things that I had done in the last 3 or 4 months was I purchased one of these bike chain cleaners. It's one of those deals, one of those things that you find online everywhere from Park Tool, and it's essentially a plastic device that has wheels and scrubbers in it. The lid of the cassette, it's kind of a cassette type of thing. You take the lid off of it, it snaps below and above your chain, and then essentially it encompasses the chain. You put a degreaser into the reservoir of the chain cleaner, and you spin your wheel backwards, you run the chain through the cleaner, and it does an unbelievable job of cleaning a dirty chain. I was amazed how filthy my chain had gotten with only riding on it probably, well, maybe I did put 1,000 miles on the chain. No, I take that back, I'm sorry. Maybe I put 500 miles on the chain since I put it on. But I ran the chain through the chain cleaner 2 or 3 times, which is to say I got rid of the solution that I used for the first time I cleaned the chain, the filthy solution, dumped it, put in a fresh batch of solution, ran it again, then ran it again. But that was it, that was the problem. So anyway, if any of you guys are out there wondering about lubricating and cleaning your chain and taking care of it and what sort of things can happen if you don't, I got a big surprise. I was absolutely amazed, absolutely out of nowhere. A frightening kind of noise coming out of my drivetrain related to a dirty and God knows what else chain. It wasn't rusty. I mean, I can't believe that there was something in there that would cause any sort of links to rust up or anything, especially with all the grease and dirt that was on the outside of the chain. But there you go. Keep your bike chain clean and well maintained. And don't forget to lube with the right kind of lube. Wow, it's a beautiful morning here in Southern Connecticut. Just cannot get over the temps. I was joking with Susan this morning. I said, geez, you know what? The days are getting shorter. She says, come on, cut it out. We just hit the summer solstice. Yes, I know the days are shorter, but come on. Don't even think in those terms. But I'll tell you, as cool as the temps were this morning, in some parts of the state of Connecticut, we're in the upper 40s. You know, that's autumn weather. It was really strange, but a lovely, lovely morning. Great to be out here.